Hey everybody, welcome back to Complete Trader Academy's daily review. Today is Monday, March 13, 2023. Let's hop right into it here. So we had a very interesting opening for the week and the day. Price, a lot of it moved from Sunday's opening and was pretty much majority of it was until this morning. Let me go into a smaller time frame. Before I do, you see here that we finally did reach these two levels here. This imbalance is now taken, and I'm gonna delete them even. Well, no, sorry. I'll wait until we do the review. But you see how it tapped it in nicely. Now we're in this weekly imbalance here. All right, and then underneath that is going to be a gap. That's a weekly gap right there. So that's a very big next target for sure. And let's just go into a smaller time frame here. So I'm sorry, let's go into 1 hour first. Now, here's the deal. So we opened up here. Price came down, came up, was rallying up. So this is today, this is Friday. I mean, a lot of movement. I had a family function. I didn't even know all this was going on. I saw it kind of going nuts, but I was like, wow. You know, I thought they would have tried to come for this here, this is the daily imbalance here. But that wasn't that important as far as today goes. I know we got CPI news tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So, I mean, they pretty much gave us the green light for the buy today because we have what? Lower low, lower high, lower low. And they created a lower high already in Asia and London. So we wake up here and we're like, wow, what's going on? This is wild. Sure enough, the 8 o'clock candle comes down and takes it out. So before it did, you can see, it's very hard to see this. I'm going to try to zoom in for you. But you can see here that it did not take it out. Jeez, really? You see that? I know that's minute, but you can see that this level has not been taken out. So I was like, okay, that dangled the carrot, right? But then sure enough, 8 o'clock comes, and I'm watching at this point. I generally start watching at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes in, takes it out, and I'm like, okay, so that was definitely a goal for price to come down and take that out. And let me fix this here. So price, sure enough, takes it out. As soon as it takes it out, right, I'm sitting here like, okay, we got definitely a buying opportunity. Why? Because we've been bearish for so long, number one. Number two, we took out this low, then we take out this low and almost take out that low, but then we finally take out this objective. And it happened much faster than I thought. So when that was the case, I'm like, well, what's to the upside? Well, we have this daily imbalance. What's below that? We have this lower high that they created. If I have a lower high here and a lower low here, what does that tell me? Okay, in general structure, I'm looking for a new lower high to build, which this becomes the lower high. Now, with that pretense, I'm framing the market already, right? So now I'm going to go into a smaller time frame real quick so you can kind of see more. And this is really ugly. For some reason, TradingView has been kind of, I don't know, skewing the price a little bit. All right, so you see here, big movement, lower highs here, comes down, comes back up, covers some of the shorts, comes back down, takes them out. Now we're here. It's 850. I'm like, okay, what's 930 gonna do? Well, I'm set in my bias of 930. I'm buying higher to take out this low at the minimum and then come up to that 1 hour imbalance, which was right here. Let me go back to the 1 hour. You see that? This big, massive hour imbalance that they had here at 4 in the morning. Well, I'm expecting a retracement into it. Now, it's a wild day, and we have CPI news, and we have banks, you know, having problems. Biden talking about it, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm in and out scalping type of thing. And let me go back to a 5-minute. And you see here that I was done with this. Once this hit, okay, so let me go into it here. So we have, and you can't really see this on a 5-minute, but I will show you before I go to a 1 minute, This candle right here, when the price comes up, comes down, comes up, and then comes back in, it's 1 point away from tapping this block right here. This is a 5-minute block. So what's the high on that candle? Look top left. High is 31,583. What's the low of this candle right here? 31,584. So by 1 point. So I watched that happen. I was gonna push the buy immediately, but I'm like, you know what? Let me get some order flow on a smaller time frame, because I'm not trusting nothing, and it's okay if I get a worse position. No big deal. So on top of that, we're on the 1 minute chart now. So price comes up, comes back in. I mean, this is 855, and I could have been a buyer here because of this imbalance. But this is just like too risky. It's just, I would take this on a normal day or scenario, but this is not a normal day whatsoever, because I'm watching, you see all what we've seen, right? So anyways, price comes up, creates a gap right there. And then this line, this shows you what that 5-minute block was, right? So drag it out, price comes up, comes back in. This price comes back into this 1 minute down candle, plus it taps that gap. All right, so I'm gonna wait for order flow just a little bit more. So what I do is this candle, sorry if it's a little hard to see, this candle goes up, comes right back into this 1 minute candle. All right, and if you drag the imbalance of this candle and you drag it through, you're generally supposed to get support there if it's going to be that type of setup. Because if it doesn't, then that's a failed idea. But the idea works. So, and you have, I have to go to a 10-second, because that's actually how I was viewing that last candle here. So take a look. Once we got back into this area right here, yeah, this looks ugly. I don't know why they do that. But take a look closer. So we're at that same spot. All right. So when I dragged it out, all right. So then we have a big imbalance here. Price comes in and taps in, and I'm a buyer. All right. Then price comes back up, comes back in, consistently holding, buying. And and this is because I've seen this a million times, if you are not confident or you wanted more order flow, generally you want to wait for a break above here and this previous high right there. See that? So that taps in here. Price runs, holds an imbalance, gaps, comes back up, comes down into this imbalance. Very clear. You could have been a buyer right there. Perfect. All right, and plenty of opportunity. I'm gonna go back to a 1 minute. I don't want to make this video too long. And then you'll see the order flow holding. Like you see low, 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 right? So price is coming right back into these blocks and they're holding. That's what you want to see. Right here, you got an imbalance that you don't want to see filled. You want it to run. You want to see price get excited and run to your target. And that's how you know the algorithm is moving. And then where's your target? I obviously have this high right here. And then if I did the projection here from C to B, projected it out right here. And we had a 2.5 standard deviation is what I aim for. So price went up, ran above this high, and I got out like right about here. This didn't need to be perfect for me. You're not going to get perfect in this scenario type of day. Your risk needs to be pretty decent as well. And this risk was what, about 38 points, something like that, 37, something like that. So I don't like to typically go more than that, but price went right to it and came to this standard deviation, and I was done. I was completely done, and I saw this reaction. I was like, I'm not even taking a sell. I mean, this is going to be a wild day. I was happy. I got plenty good points here, so I'm done for I could be even done for the week. So I'm gonna go back to the 1 hour, but you'll see one of the mistakes I made was I could have held it longer and stayed in, but one of the things I sometimes forget to do is watch the 1 hour chart more. because as you see here, when the price came up, you know, I generally look for the 50% of this imbalance. And I mean, I would have liked for it to come and take this, but it's not a news day. So CPI is tomorrow, and sure enough, the rest of the day was choppy. And I'm so glad I didn't get involved in this. Major losses in here, very, very, very hard to read. You could have caught plenty of other trades as well. Like you could have added a position right here. You see when this candle came down, this is a 5 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, it's 5 minute. I think you can see it on the 1 minute too. Yeah. See that? See how it comes down and it's slowly lethargic, barely moving, but still together. It peaks down and it taps this. You see this block right here? Taps it nicely. Right there is a buy. Or if you didn't take that, you see how this candle went up, came back into the block. Boom, you're another buyer right there. Imbalance right here could have been a buyer right there. Drag it out, could have been a buyer. This comes down, ends up tapping this block right there. See that? Could have been a buyer right there. And always your stop below the imbalance. And that would have been another entry right there. And then with this chopping around, when you don't see it running higher already, and you're already just in this zone and you don't see it higher, well, this could be the new lower high that it built. So let me go back to 1 hour. So if this was the lower high that it built, see that? So if this was the lower high that it built and it took most of this imbalance here, and this is the lower high, so lower high, lower low, lower high. If that's the lower high, then we could have saw potential it coming back down into this wick here, or even breaking lower. I mean, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. We could black swan event. I don't no idea. But that would have been the safe play. And as this being the lower high, I didn't even bother catching it to sell, which I could have caught a sell. But the reason why was because now we got this high, this high, this high, and the imbalance. So I'm like, is CPI news going to shoot it up, or is it going to shoot it down? I don't know. But as you see, why I say watch Asia and London, look at this. I mean, Asia and London, I do not expect. This looks like a whole day by itself, and it's just Asia and London. So that being all said here, this could get very tricky. So got to be very careful here because as you see here, we got a bearish. We close as a bearish candle here. Price can come down a little bit, get into this wick, and then shoot back up, or price can come up. Price can come up right here, up into this part of the wick of the day, which was that lower high, and then shoot down. We don't know, or I mean, it could be. I mean, it's CPI news, so I'm expecting it to be bearish. This is definitely my next target, like guaranteed. This 31,200 level is guaranteed my next target, probably by this week. So we'll see how it goes, but it might turn into this. It might turn into this, and then we shoot up. Right? We might shoot up just to get back into here, into this like support resistance type of idea where it taps in. But I mean, I'm looking for lower prices still. We just made that lower. I think we just made another lower high, but it's very iffy because they're so close at this point that there's a lot of liquidity right here. Unless they hold these lower highs as to confirm it, so we can now hit bearish days and weeks and get the price down here quickly. We'll see. I mean, as far as the economy goes. All right. Hope this helps you guys. Take care and God bless.